Hello fellow colorists, it's Jody here with JI Colorist, and this is June 2024's edition of World Flags Coloring, where we are coloring the flags of the world as we learn a little bit more of each country and their beautiful flags. I am using the book from Amazon called World Flags Coloring, and it has 230 flags in it. I am also using picking the countries that I do with their national birthdays or national holidays, and so we have 10 for the month of June. So we're gonna have quite a few flags that we're going to be learning about today. I am going to be using my Creta Color Mega Color. Every month we've kind of been picking a different pencil or a different medium to color with, and this is very thin paper, so I've been trying to pick things that do not bleed through, although we have had some bleed through. So we're hoping that whatever pencils I select in the future, there's a little less bleed through. So we are going to use the Creta Color Mega Color pencils this time. I have the full 36 set. I also have the metallics, but I don't think we'll be using any metallics today. So it's the 36 set we'll be using. I have got them swatched out here, so I will select the colors closest to the flag colors, and hopefully we do a good job. At the end of this video, I will relocate the camera to the wall map where we will find all 10 countries and scratch them off so that we have a visual of where these countries are in the world. If you are someone that hasn't been to school for a very long time, such as myself, then getting a refresher course on geography is always a fun challenge. So I hope that is of some interest to you today, and I will get cracking with, I'm going to do them this time in alphabetical order because there are 10, and flipping back all through the book would cause a little bit more movement than I would like. So we are going to be doing them alphabetically, but I still will let you know the date that each country is celebrating. All right, let me readjust the camera and we'll get this video started. Okay, so alphabetically, the first country we have today is Croatia, and it has a flag that has 3 horizontal stripes on it and then a coat of arms in the center. So some of these coat of arms, I've gotten separate pictures off of the internet, and I will display them on screen so that you can see a close-up of them, because some of them are quite intricate and interesting. So I will show that on screen. I will also talk about, for each country, the population, their national sport, and what the flag meaning is. And this is all information off of the internet. Okay, I am using deep permanent dark red for the red stripe, and the red stripe on Croatia's flag represents the blood of martyrs. Croatia's official language is Croatian, and I probably will, after I've colored each one, I will use some Gamsol to blend it out so that there's not any white of the paper showing, just so you know. So it will look a little bit better once it's all colored. June 25th is Croatia's Independence Day, so happy Independence Day, Croatia. And Croatia's population is 3.987 million. So let me just finish off this red. Okay, the white center stripe is for peace, and the bottom one is blue, representing their devotion to God. Croatia's national sport is soccer or football. After I get this blue one stripe finished, I will come back and we will talk about their emblem in the center. I am using ultramarine blue for the blue stripe. Okay, I have colored the first two stripes and I have used Gamsol to smooth out the colors a bit, remove the white of the paper. Now let's talk about the emblem in the center, which is actually Croatia's coat of arms. It symbolizes for the monarchy and the geographical history of the country. So there are two main parts of it, and I see I've missed this area here, so I'll just color that in. So the top area here are 5 small shields, and they represent 5 historical regions of Croatia. And I will put on screen a brighter picture for you. And then the bottom area is a red checkerboard, and it was chosen by the king in gratitude of remembrance of the defeat of the Venetian Doge. Color this in. And you can see on screen a picture. So I may go and get some Staedtler pigment pens for that fine area there. These are the Staedtler pigment pens, and they have a fine felt tip. And I'm using the yellow for gold. And this is a goat. Let's zoom you back out and you can get a full look at the picture. Okay, this is Croatia's flag. All right, on to our next country. Okay, alphabetically, our next flag for the month is Iceland, and Iceland is actually celebrating an Independence Day on June 17th. So happy Independence Day to Iceland. Their flag is a blue background with a white edged red Nordic cross, and that is off center, more to the left of the flag. So I couldn't find any official explanation for the colors of the flag. However, the popular one that seems to be out there is that the colors represent the 3 elements that create the island, which is fire, ice, and water. And that kind of sounded pretty cool. Iceland's official language is Icelandic, and they have a population of just 377, just about 378,000. So not even 500,000. Sorry about that. My hand was in the way. I apologize for that. The Icelandic national sport is glima, which is a Scandinavian type of wrestling, which was very interesting to me. But I guess it makes sense that it wouldn't be soccer, because there's probably not a lot of soccer fields handy in Iceland for practicing and playing on. Again, I am using the ultramarine for the blue color. Okay, let me finish off the blue and I'll come back. Just thought I'd bring you back and show you the difference between when I do pretty much just one heavier layer of pigment down without blending it with the Gamsol. I do think that the Gamsol definitely gets rid of the white of the paper. I'm just using Gamsol in an empty Copic sketch marker. And sometimes I use the brush tip to blend, and sometimes, like right now, I'm using the chisel tip because this is a larger area. And I'm just basically dissolving the pigment and getting rid of the white of the paper, just so that we can have a more solid color. And that's just a personal preference, so there's no right or wrong way to color in a coloring book. Just want to make the flags look their best. Okay, so that's blue, and the next part is the red cross on top of a white cross, so I'm just going to do the white, and again I'm going to use permanent dark red for the red. And that is something I have noticed on the flags, is they all kind of have a core set of colors, and it's been pretty easy to just pick out a few, colors, and sometimes those are all I need for all the flags in a month. So by the end of this, we will maybe count how many colors we've had to dig out. Another interesting fact here about Iceland is that it has 30 active volcanoes on it, which is quite a few, and 13 which have erupted since the settlement of the island, and only about 20% of the whole country is inhabitable. You have to comment below if you've ever been to Iceland. I know that there is growing tourism there. So, okay, this is what the flag looks like. I will finish off the activating the red, and we will go on to our next flag. Final look at Iceland's flag. Happy Independence Day for June 17th. And our next country is going to be... Okay, our next country is Italy, and it was actually our first in the chronological order, and Italy is selling a Republic Day on June the 2nd, and Italy is in the Southern Europe, and its official language is Italian. It has 3 vertical stripes on it, and it is often referred to as the tricolored flag. And we have green, white, and red. And the green color represents the there was two different explanations on the green, so I'll give you both. One said it represented the natural rights, social equality, and freedom, and the other said it represented hope. Either way, those are great. I am using the grass green color for this green. For any of the flags, if it's your country's flag, give your country a shout out in the comments below that you are from that country. The national sport for Italy is not going to be a surprise. It is soccer, also known as football. The white stripe represents faith or the snow of the Alps. So for each stripe, I'll give you what both explanations meant. And one could be a current explanation and one could be historical. Sometimes it's you have to check a few different spots on the internet to get a consistent answer, and I have discovered that quite a bit of late. I am using permanent dark red for the red vertical stripe, and the red represents love. It also represents the blood spilt in the wars of Italians' independence. And that's also a common theme in the flags. If there's red on the flag, it often represents the struggle for independence and the loss of life. Italy's population has 58.79 million people. The country itself is often referred to as shaped like a lady's high heel boot. And of course, we all think of pasta, or I do anyways, when I think of Italy. Okay, I will add a bit of Gamsol to this, and thank you, Italy. I look forward to finding this on the map. Quick final look at Italy's flag after it's been activated. So Italy was in the Southern Europe region. We are now flipping over to our next country, which is in Western Europe, and it is Luxembourg. Luxembourg has a flag of 3 horizontal stripes and 3 different colors: red, white, and blue. I'm going to need to grab a new blue, so 1 second. Okay, so the flag I'm going to be using is permanent dark red for the red. The red represents vibrancy, revolution, and power, and is also the determination and courage of the people. Luxembourg is a country that has a monarchy. So June 23rd is actually the Grand Duke's official birthday, the Grand Duke of Luxembourg. And Luxembourg's official language is Luxembourgish. And I apologize, I probably did not pronounce that properly. Okay, the white stripe represents harmony, peace, and innocence of the people. And the blue on the bottom, I am using the Delft blue color, and it is for perseverance and determination. And it is a beautiful color, and I think it matches quite well with the one on the flag, I'm hoping. As I mentioned, Luxembourg is in Western Europe. They have a population of 662,000 people, so just over 500,000. Their national sport is soccer, which seems to be the national sport of Europe. And the interesting fact here on the side says nearly half of Luxembourg's workforce commutes to work in Luxembourg from another country. So size-wise, it must not be super huge, and we'll see that on the map, but most of their workforce comes from other countries. And that's an interesting fact indeed. I like seeing the change when it goes from pretty cool. Okay. Happy birthday to the Grand Duke on June 23rd. And this is Luxembourg's flag. Our next country is going to be, our next country is part of Southeast Asia, and it is the Philippines. And the Philippines have a flag that has 2 horizontal stripes and a white triangle inverted into those stripes. So I am going to use the ultramarine for the blue, and the blue represents patriotism and justice. The official language of the Philippines is Filipino and English, so they have 2. They are celebrating an Independence Day on June the 12th. So happy Independence Day. Their national sport is something we haven't seen before. It's called arnis, and it is a martial art and self-defense. So I had not heard of that before. And so that's kind of cool to learn something new. Learning a lot of new facts about these countries. Okay, so that is our blue stripe. I am going to do the white triangle next, and it has 3 stars in it. I'm going to be using my Cadmium Yellow Pit Artist pen for this area. The 3 stars represent the 3 geographic regions, and I'm going to put a photo on screen of this area so that you can see it better. Okay, the bottom stripe is going to be permanent dark red, and the red represents blood spilt for freedom and independence. So I will continue on this. The population of the Philippines is 119 million. And the populations are all from the 2024 off of the internet. And I usually round the populations to either the million or the 1,000, depending on what it is. All right, I'll finish off this. I'll activate the colors and I'll bring you back so you can see how it looks when it's completed. Okay, here is the Philippines flag, and an interesting fact, it says here that the Camiguin Island in the Philippines has the world's most number of volcanoes per square kilometer. So a few more volcano facts in today's video. So there you go, it's a beautiful flag, and happy Independence Day to the Philippines. Okay, let's find out which country's next. Sticking with peas, this is Portugal's flag, and it has 2 vertical stripes. One is slightly larger than the other. We have a green one, which I'm going to use the grass green color for, and it is for hope and future. So Portugal is in Southern Europe, and again we will find that on the map shortly. In the center of the over the 2 areas is a red shield and this casing. So I'm just trying to be careful to go around that. And I may put on screen a more detailed picture of that when I'm coloring that area. The Portugal is having an Independence Day on what's called Portugal Day on June the 10th. So it's their national holiday. Portugal has a population of 10.22 million. Being a European country, I imagine you have already guessed what their national sport is. But yes, indeed, their national sport is soccer. The red stripe on the Portugal flag represents blood loss of those fighting to become a republic. I'll get this red done. It's quite a large area, which is also why I decided to use the Mega pencils today. Okay, here's how Portugal's flag is looking so far. Now we need to do this area right up here. So I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. This is a red shield. I'll just grab the Staedtler pigment brush pen here for the background of this. So it is a red shield with yellow, 7 yellow castles on it, and then there are 5 blue shields in the center, and the whole thing represents victories against the Moors. So There were 5 blue shields where 5 more kings were killed, and then the 7 castles that were taken. This area done first. Very tiny. And also this area out here is yellow. Such tiny areas. Okay. Maybe it'll look better once I've zoomed out. I will use a black micron to trace around this area, and this area around here is supposed to be white, so I'll leave that. Okay, here's our final look at Portugal's flag. Very intricate, and happy that we were able to learn a bit more about it. Okay, on to our next country. Our next country is again a white, blue, and red flag, and it is the Russian Federation. The Russian Federation flag has 3 horizontal stripes. The white stripe is for peace, purity, and perfection. The blue stripe, I am going to be using the ultramarine. It is the color of faith, fidelity, and consistency. So we'll get started on that. We've had a lot of this color for today in our flags. The official language of Russian Federation is Russian. Russia's location is in the Eastern Europe, Northern Asia. Although the borders seem to get redrawn quite frequently since I was in high school. Let me finish off the blue. The red stripe is for energy, strength, and the bloodshed for the fatherland. The population of Russia as of 2024 is 143.972 million. Their national sport for Russia is called bandy, which is a Russian hockey. Okay, let me activate this, and a couple of interesting information on the side that the book provides is that compared to the Earth's landmass by area, the Russian Federation is the largest country in the world. So landmass wise. All right, here is what the Russian Federation flag looks like. Our next country is Slovenia. Okay, this is a Slovenia flag, and it also has 3 horizontal stripes, the top being white, the middle being blue, and the bottom being red. So for the meaning of the colors on the flag, all I could find out or see is that they're tricolored and they're equal. So there wasn't seem to be specific meaning for the 3 different colors, so I could not locate that. So if there is meaning and you know it, by all means comment below and help us learn. They did say that they were common colors for Europe. This is ultramarine, and I will talk more about the coat of arms that is on the center of the top two horizontal stripes in a minute, after I get the blue and the red done. Slovenia's official language spoken is Slovenian. As I mentioned, they are in Southern Europe. On June 25th, Slovenia is celebrating their statehood day. So that's their national holiday. The population of Slovenia is 2.119 million. And their national sport is alpine skiing. Although they did have a few sports listed as favorites, but that was listed as their national sport. I will activate these two, and then we will go ahead and talk about the... Actually, I'll do the crest first. So I'm going to zoom you in. This is Slovenia's coat of arms, and it is a blue shield with a white mountain on it, and this is Mount Triglav, and it is their tallest mountain peak. So I'm just going to try and not get rid of the stars. There are 3 6-pointed stars. There are 2 blue lines underneath the mountain representing the rivers. Then there is a red line around the whole thing. The 3 6-sided stars are upside down triangles. And here is Slovenia's flag. Again, Slovenia is in Southern Europe, and we will find it on the map shortly. We have 2 countries left to go, and our next country is Sweden. And Sweden is in Northern Europe, and it has 2 colors on its flag, and I'm going to have to actually go pull out a new color, so let me go grab some yellow. Okay, for the Sweden flag, I have pulled out 2 new colors. I've pulled out the blue, pulled out Prussian blue because it's a little bit different of a blue, and I've pulled out cadmium citron for the yellow. Now we do have a bit of bleed through from our flag from Syria, so there's some red and some black showing through, so I'm hoping that these colors cover that up, but I apologize for that. So let's go ahead and give this a color. The flag itself is a fully blue colored flag, and then it has a Scandinavian cross symbolizing Christianity on top. So the blue, I will go ahead and start. So the blue color on the flag represents loyalty, justice, perseverance, vigilance, and truth. The official language in Sweden is Swedish. Sweden also has a monarchy. June the 6th is their National Flag Day. So that is the day we are celebrating for Sweden in June. Their sport, national sport, is bandy, which is hockey with a ball. And we also had bandy as the Russian sport. So I'm not sure if they're exactly the same sport with the same stick and stuff, but they were both listed there. Okay, I'll do the bottom 2 blue and I'll be right back. Okay, while activating this bottom one, the Delft blue was quite bright, which was too bright for Sweden's flag. So I then went and added some darker blue on top, and now I'm just blending the two together. So we're going to kind of have a hybrid blue here, but just trying to get the colors a little bit more accurate if possible. So if you're wondering what happened to the Delft blue, it was mixed with the ultramarine. So, and that's the good thing about Gamsol, is we can mix these two colors together when activated. And it seems to be covering up the bleed through from the previous flag, so that kind of helped too. So that's how that's going to look. But I just thought I'd better let you know that I did end up adding another color to this. Okay, we are using the cadmium yellow for the Scandinavian cross, which symbolizes generosity of the Swedish people. And there are 10.673 million for their population. And much like the UK, Sweden has a constitutional monarchy with a parliamentary democracy. So they have monarchy, but they also have a parliament. Happy Flag Day to Sweden for June the 6th. So the last country for this month is the United Kingdom, and that of course is this flag, and this flag actually combines the crosses of 3 countries under one sovereign: England and Wales, Scotland and Ireland. And I can show you at the last page of this book those countries' individual flags, but this is the United Kingdom flag. It has 3 colors on it: white, red and blue as well. And the white represents peace and honesty. The red is for bravery, strength and valor. And I am going to use the Pigment Staedtler brush pen for that, for these smaller areas. And then I'll use the colored pencils for the larger areas. I'll just get these smaller ones out of the way so I don't accidentally color them the wrong color. So the UK is part of the Northern Europe. Their official language is English. They celebrate on June 16th, the official birthday of the monarch, and with the passing of Queen Elizabeth, the monarch is now the King Charles. They just had their trooping of the colors to recognize his birthday. So the King's actual birthday is in November, but they celebrate the monarch's birthday in the summer. I will use the pencil crayon for the large cross. The national sport for the United Kingdom is cricket. And I have been to a cricket game when I was in Australia, and that was the first time I had seen cricket being played. So that was quite interesting. The population of the United Kingdom is 67.85 million people. Okay, I'll come back when I'm going to be coloring the blue portion. Okay, the blue-black ground on the flag represents vigilance, justice, and loyalty and perseverance. So it's actually a blue flag with the 3 crosses on top. And all the crosses intersect each other. So here we are, the United Kingdom flag, all colored and activated. Beautiful flag, but it also represents 4 other countries. At the back of the book is an area saying, "Did you know?" And it says, "The United Kingdom is made up of England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and it is known as an island nation of northwestern Europe." So we have England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. So they have their individual flags as well. So I just thought I'd like to point that out. So here are the colored flags themselves. So you can see them. And then they're all represented on the United Kingdom flag. We just did. All right, those are our flags. Let's go find them on the world map. Here's our wall map that we are going to be removing the coating on to see each country. We are starting with Croatia, and Croatia is this tiny little area right here. So I will zoom you in. Okay, our first country is Croatia, and it is way over by number 8. So here is this country. Croatia is this tiny one right here. So I'm just gonna scratch it off. Okay, so just to make sure you know where Croatia is, it's this little area above the Bosnia-Herzegovina, so right there. So that's their first one, Croatia. Our next country that we're looking for is Iceland, and that is right up here. So we will not need to move the camera. We will just scratch off Iceland. There is Iceland. Moving right along, our next country is Italy, and Italy is right here. I'll zoom you in a little bit. And it looks like a boot, a female's boot, sideways. Very cool. Next country we have is Luxembourg, and that is in Western Europe. And Luxembourg is tiny, so it has just a number. So it is number 1. Let me just find that. Okay, locating Luxembourg was a lot harder than I thought. I had to find it. It was just below Belgium and beside Germany. So at the very end of Belgium, there's a tiny little spot that just had a dot on the map to signify that it was there. Didn't even have the number 1. So I scratched it off just basically with my fingernail. So there we go. I will try and zoom you in. And I will point it out. So just this tiny little area right there. Okay, let's move on to our next country. The next country we're looking for on the map is the Philippines, and it is in Southeast Asia, and it is this group of along the sea. This is all of these islands. Okay, it's back to Southern Europe for the location of Portugal, and Portugal is over here by Spain. So it is just off of the ocean, of the North Atlantic Ocean. So let's scratch off Portugal. There's Portugal. Zoom you in a little bit. Yep, there's Portugal. Next, alphabetically, we have the Russian Federation, which is Eastern Europe, Northern Asia. So that is this whole area here. So I will go ahead and scratch that off screen because that will take quite a bit of time, but just so we start on screen so you can see the color, it is going to be a nice blue. So let me get Russia scratched off and I'll be right back to share with you how it looks once it's uncovered. Okay, I think I have gotten all of the areas scratched off. Definitely quite a large landmass, so calling it the largest landmass country definitely makes sense. So we've got all of this area here up into some little, let me adjust the camera a little bit. There you go. All up here to here, down and around. So this whole area up here. Okay, and that is the Russian Federation. Our next two countries to go is Slovenia, which is also in Southern Europe. So let's find that. Okay, Slovenia is on here as a number. It is also a small country, so it is number 4, which is right here beside Berlin. Sorry, beside Bern, the word, but it's beside Milan and below Austria. The number 4 right there is Slovenia. And our last country, no, we have 2 more. Let's find Sweden. Sweden is in Northern Europe. So let's zoom you out. And Sweden is right here. So we have Sweden right here. There we go, that's Sweden. And our last country is United Kingdom, which is in Northern Europe, which is right here, the UK. And those are our 10 countries. Wow, that's been our biggest one yet. Let me find the flags. I'm going to go ahead and scratch off all the flags and then I'll bring you back just to show you where they are. All right, back in a flash. Okay, I'm holding the camera, so hopefully this goes okay. So we're going to start off here with Croatia's flag. And our next one is going to be Iceland. We come on over down here to Luxembourg right here. And we come down and we have the Philippines. And then we have Portugal's flag. And we go on over to Russia's flag. And we scoot up and we have Italy. Way over here we have Slovenia, the United Kingdom, and last but not least, over here we have Sweden. And that is where our map is coming. So we still have quite a few countries left, but we've also knocked off quite a few. Let me go back to the table for a moment and I'll show you the colors that we've used. Back at the desk, just wanted to show you, I thought it was kind of interesting that we had 10 countries today, but really we only had 6 colors, including white. So of all the flags that we've done, really there was only 6 different colors, and I find that kind of interesting, and I have noticed that over the last few months that we really do have a lot of similar colors in all the flags. I look forward to next month's flag video, where we also have quite a few countries celebrating in July, including Canada and the United States. So again, if I have covered your flag, give yourself and your country a shout out in the comments below. Until then, I hope you're having a colorful and creative week, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.